Hi, my name is Doctor Thomas Nguyen, MD. I'm a board certified addiction physician. Today, I'd like to talk about how to cope and survive a narcissistic intimate relationship. As I have spoken earlier in my other videos, narcissistic personality disorders, according to the DSM-5, have to meet 5 out of the 9 criteria. Number 1 is grandiosity. Number 2 is a preoccupation with fantasies of success, financially, occupationally, personally. Number 3, the belief that the individual is very special and unique and that they deserve to be treated special. Number 4 is the need for excess admiration. Number 5 is these individuals are always self-entitled. Number 6 is they are exploitative in all of their relationships, whether it's intimate or not. Number 7, they are incapable of true emotional empathy. Number 8, they are very envious of other people, especially those who are doing better than them or those in positions of power above them. And number 9, these individuals tend to be very arrogant, haughty. Intimate relationships with these individuals with narcissistic personality disorders are always self-destructive. The best thing that the individual who recognizes that they're in a narcissistic, abusive relationship with someone with NPD is to understand the criteria, but then also the behaviors that are inherent in those phases of intimate narcissistic personality disorders have with their significant others. Again, I'll talk about the different phases and how once this individual understands that they are part of the dynamics of narcissistic personality disorders, abusive behaviors, that they can take action. Grooming is where the narcissist or the person with NPD recognize in their victim that they can obtain narcissistic supply from this individual. Narcissistic supply can be characterized as, admiration, positive emotions. It is characterized by sex, services, and if the individual meet 2 out of those 3 or 4 criteria, then they began the process of grooming. The process of grooming, the person with NPD uses their superficial charms, which are very powerful, to take that other individual and make them notice them. In the grooming phase, you would see that there is a lot of affirmations, there's a lot of compliments, there is a lot of seductive behaviors, and in order to bring this individual into the phase of idealization. When this happens, the individual with NPD internalize their intimate partner, potential intimate partner, as perfect, and that this intimate partner can fulfill all of their narcissistic supply. But again, once the individual with NPD had idealized this person, they began the process of love bombing. The love bombing is the behaviors where admiration, affections are being poured out in excess that are inappropriate for the level and the intensity of the relationship. Examples of love bombing is, I have been waiting for you all my life. I always thought that eventually I'll be lucky enough to meet someone who is beautiful, who is as intelligent as you are, Love bombing could be, we have so much in common that I know that you are the one for me. And love bombing continues with future faking. I can see us moving in together, and this is after maybe knowing the narcissist for about 2 weeks. I can see us, being soulmates and getting married in the future, and this would come after a month of being with this individual. I can see having children with you. So all of this is examples of love bombing. And if an individual is love bombing you in this way, you have to understand that you are now dealing with someone who has NPD, because this is the tactic to entrap and entrain this other person into their next phase, which is the share fantasy. In this share fantasy, the person with NPD are infatuated with the potential of this new intimate partner to provide the individual with NPD with all of their narcissistic supply. Therefore, they are fueled by all of this, new narcissistic supply that's coming to them, and they are euphoric with the other individual. And during the period of share fantasy, the NPD would have, many sexual experiences with this individual. The sex would be very powerful, very potent, very acrobatic, very imaginative. They would buy gifts and presents and take these potential intimate partners on trips and make them feel very special and make them feel that they are truly loved for who they are. And that is a very powerful seductive tool, because now that other individual feel a sense of completeness in the adoration and the affections which are coming from the individual with NPD. At this point, if there is any suspicion that the love bombing are not characteristics of an NPD's behaviors in the intimate partner, then this share fantasy should be, the major red flag. But the individual who's under the spell of the NPD's superficial charms and their sexual prowess and their ability to bring out the emotional content out of that person because of all this, affirmations and so forth, makes it impossible even for the intimate partner, where they are suspicious of this person being a person who has NPD, but now they're emotionally powerless and they're paralyzed to separate during the share fantasy phase. Because the individual with NPD idealize this intimate partner, they will eventually realize that this intimate partner will not provide them with narcissistic supply, all the narcissistic supply that they wanted, that they grow tired and bored with this individual, because the individual is changing and the individual is evolving. That's not consistent with the internal design of the narcissist. So during this time, the narcissist begin to devalue the intimate partner. And this is the most confusing, the most troubling perspective from the intimate partner, who had been so full of love and affections and of desire, and suddenly the narcissist is pulling back on their affections. It's kind of hit or miss, called passive aggressive. It's called approach, avoidance, approach. So before the narcissist would have sex with these individuals they're in intimate relationships with, but now they're holding it back. Now they are not complimenting that individual. Now they begin to be indifferent towards that individual. So that individual doesn't feel that sense of specialness that the individual with NPD has endowed upon them. They begin to see criticism from the narcissist about their own perception of the relationship. And also, this is the most common characteristic as far as in the devaluation phase, is that by this time, the intimate partner has been isolated from their friends, their families, and their social support group. At this time, the individual can begin the process of leaving the narcissist, or the individual is so confused and that they try harder in order to bring back that golden period of the shared fantasy period. And unfortunately, for those who continue to pursue in order to regain that golden period, they are severely devalued. They begin to feel humiliated. They are the object of the narcissist's wrath. And during this time, the narcissist has already been started with a grooming or an idealization phase with another intimate partner. So my perception is that at this time, it is better for the individual to recognize that they are in a relationship with a narcissistic personality disorder individual, and they have to discard the narcissist rather being discarded by the narcissist themselves. So by recognizing that all of these behaviors from the narcissist has been a ploy, it's been a scam to bring you into the shared fantasies, and this devaluation phase is to destroy any sense of agency that the intimate partner has. And the best thing is to leave the narcissist and to start healing from this scam, this emotional scam, by implementing a strict no contact with the narcissist. This means, blocking them on social media, blocking them on phones, on emails. If it's unavoidable to not see the narcissist, then any interaction with the narcissist must be met by reservation, by discretion, and the less of communication that you have with the narcissist, the less the abuse can continue. I hope that in my explanation of understanding the examples of the individual with NPD during each phases of this intimate relationship can provide you with the understanding and information so that you can make the ultimate decision when you see these red flags. Is that once you know that this person has NPD, you must leave them immediately, because there is nothing that can be gained from continuing this intimate relationship with someone with NPD, because ultimately it will cause that individual irreversible trauma, bonding, and pain that are so immeasurable because of the confusion and the lack of self-esteem as being torn down by individual with NPD. I hope that this information has been informative, and it will help you to understand each phases of the narcissistic abuse dynamics in an intimate relationship. Thank you for your time.